going live. And we should be live. What's going on, D-Bags? Hope you guys are doing well. We're back here again with another episode of the Detox Podcast, episode 319 to be exact. If you're new here, you enjoy music, podcasts, comedy, hooping videos, etc., any of that good stuff, we've got a bunch of it going on around here. So do subscribe or leave a like when you hang out with us here in the live chat. It helps us share conversations and laughs like this with more people. So do consider doing that. Now, before I can introduce you guys to my guest this week, got to talk to you guys a little bit about vacations. All right, if your city is not underwater, maybe it is underwater, and you want to get out of that, you need to get away for a minute, you just want to enjoy yourself, you, the family, you and a loved one, whatever, you got to go check out Alpine House 2, all right? Alpine House 2 is a classic Swiss chalet duplex A-frame log cabin located directly across the street from the Ski Brûlée Resort in Iron River, Michigan. Surrounded by forests, lakes, rivers, obviously Iron River more specifically, makes Alpine House 2 the destination for fishing, hunting, hiking, and kayaking, anything you want to do on the water, basically. They've been pretty much booked, pretty regularly booked on the weekends, I should say, for the last 3 months, but you should be able to, if you reach out to them and you text them, whether it's through their Instagram that's on the screen right now or in the link down below, and you reach out to them and tell them Rita Detox sent you, they should be able to set you up with some vacation times. That's at Alpine House 2 on Instagram. Otherwise, they're linked down below. Hit them up, tell them Rita Detox sent you, and they will set you guys up with a great vacay. So shout out to Alpine House 2 for sponsoring an episode of the show. Now, I mentioned this is the 319th episode of the show. Been doing it a long time at this point. When I was starting out, I had no idea what I was doing. Didn't know what cameras to buy. Didn't know what lighting we needed, what microphones, any of that stuff. If I had known about these guys, things would have been way, way easier. Impulse Camera, today's other video sponsor. Impulse Cameras is located directly in Oak Creek, Wisconsin's Drexel Square, and they have everything you could possibly need for your creative projects, whether it's cameras, lights, microphones, gimbals, or even just a place to record your own content. They have all of that. But they don't just have great gear. They've also got great staff that's really going to do everything that they can to help you get the best gear suited for your needs at prices that actually fit your budget. If you're still not convinced, they also offer super legit rental programs that allow you to test some of the gear out before you buy. And they also have monthly memberships so that you can get discounts on gear as well as access to an exclusive Discord and more. Check out at impulse.mke on Instagram, or the link down below. That's impulsecameras.com. And just because you listen to this podcast, they will hook you guys up. So check out at impulse.mke or impulsecameras.com. Shout out to them for sponsoring another episode of the show. Now, with all that good stuff out of the way, we got all the church announcements out of here. I'm excited to be kicking with my guest this week. We got a very funny comedian in the house. Please give a wet detox welcome to Daniel Fuellengraben. Is that close?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Perfect.
But what the fuck is a wet detox?
It's we're wet. We're wet here today. We got the dude. That's an impressive mouthful of a last name you have.
Oh yeah, no, magnificently German.
Yeah,
as
German
as
heritage
German
is
as they
strong.
come. Yeah.
Yeah, I respect that. You said you're born and raised in Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to be that. This is a good spot for the Germans, right? This is, a lot of German culture here in Milwaukee.
So on my mom's side of the family, they were Vogelsangs. So another mouthful of a German name.
Whoa.
They settled here in the mid to late 1800s, I believe, and then my dad's family, the Fuellengrabens, came in the early 1920s. My grandfather moved here.
Yeah, damn, you've been here a long time, man.
Yeah.
Or pieces of you.
Oh
I
yeah,
guess.
I would say
DNA.
they put down roots a little while ago.
Yeah, I respect it, dude. Speaking of Milwaukee, man, we've been dealing with some flooding going on.
Yeah, no, it hit us pretty bad.
It's kind of insane.
I slept through most of it, to be honest, but it hit pretty bad.
Yeah, honestly, I did too. A big chunk of it, where it was the big thunderstorm. Okay.
When they kick everybody out of the state fair because people are swimming in cow manure.
Yeah, it's a good look. For people that don't know, Wisconsin specifically, Milwaukee just got destroyed with this historic storm.
Yeah, they say once in every 500 years. Let's see how long until we break that record.
Yeah, ridiculous, dude. Can we, if it's all right, can we pull up a couple things of this? I just want people that maybe, because we have listeners that aren't from Milwaukee, maybe haven't seen this. It's all over my For You page now. I can't go on social media without seeing something about it. We shoot the show in Milwaukee, so I definitely saw it. I know a lot of people that dealt with it. I had people reaching out to me being like, yo, are you having stuff, happen to you? And luckily, not a ton of flooding over where I'm at. I know you were mentioning that there was some stuff by your house.
Yeah, I live on the northwest side, so fairly close to the Menominee River, and that flooded out all of the Tosa village.
Yeah,
a lot of that area got flooded. Fortunately, my house Not a whole lot of water in the basement. You know, just some old stuff got ruined and tossed away. But we got lucky. We got really, really lucky. Our power went out all night and through most of the morning. But beyond that, we were spared. Like I said earlier, I know people that their cars were flooded up to their seats. And
yeah, dude. What was like? I mean, even walking outside, though, I imagine you probably still a decent amount of water, or were you okay where you're at?
When I left for work in the morning, it was still pouring rain sporadically, and I didn't really have much trouble getting to work other than when I was on Capitol Drive passing underneath the freeway. It was kind of flooded down there, so everybody slowed down and moved to the left side to try to get around it.
I'd be interested to see, because I know like years ago when there was like a couple of bad storms in a row, that like the river, there was a lot of the buildings on the river, like their pipes like bursts and stuff, and it was real bad. And I mean, it was super high. Like when I saw it a couple days ago, I saw videos of it, and then even just seeing it today, it's still pretty high and it's moving real quick. I'd be interested if anybody listening that is from the Milwaukee area, if you live by the river, I'd like to know like what that was like, because this is, I mean, that's Miller Park, dude.
Yeah, they had some of the parking lot shut down for the game.
Yeah,
because they're like there's still just water,
look
debris.
at State Fair, dude. That's insane, dude. Yeah, people swimming and whatnot at State Fair. I gotta say, I mean, you already did it, so hopefully you didn't get like some brain-eating amoeba or.
I guess when you can swim at Bradford Beach, you can swim anywhere, right?
Yeah, dude. God, I mean, you gotta just let's think it through, guys. I know we're going through like a once in a millennium fucking storm event, but like, don't let your mind just go down with it. Like you know what's on the ground here at State Fair.
Yeah,
you can smell it. You could smell all the animals' manure. You could smell all the gasoline, all this stuff. Don't swim in that, man. And most people, like, they don't even plug their nose when they're swimming. They're not, some people like to open their eyes underwater. I mean, that can't be good, dude.
Oh, and now when people ask, "Oh, did you get to the State Fair?" I'll be like, "No, I was gonna go on the last day, but they canceled."
Yeah,
I was gonna go.
Yeah. God, man, that's nuts. Maybe it's interesting. When I was doing a little digging up on you, like getting ready for the show and whatnot, I saw like you're a big fan of like hardcore music, hardcore concerts. Maybe like, do you think this would have been a good chance for maybe like an indie hardcore band to like do a concert, like a floating concert, like out of their garage, maybe like their flooded garage?
Oh,
set up like some fucking, I don't know, like some pool
like
floaties.
Like a pontoon hardcore show. Oh, that
could have gone crazy, especially like in the middle of the storm.
Oh, I mean, as long as you can swim and you're not adverse to getting moshed overboard.
yeah.
I think that would be fine, but no. Because
I've
I've seen people, they do shows out of like the back of U-Haul trucks and inside Denny's and wherever they can plug a speaker in, which I think is awesome. There's this guy I follow on Instagram who built a bus full of speakers, and it has like a big platform on it, and they drive this thing around. He had a wall of them. And then the police told him you can't do that. So then he put them all on a bus. Then they told him you can't do that. So I'm going to keep following that saga to see where it goes. Yeah.
What's his name?
Noah Orion. Orion 42, I think, is his page or his band. He has a band, and shout out to that guy. Dude, he sent me some free stickers before. Cool guy.
Okay, sick, man. And he's building these incredible rigs that are getting the cops' attention. So that's fun.
They're just playing loud, heavy music.
Yeah, that's the spirit of hardcore music, from what I understand.
It's fantastic.
Right? So I'm not a huge, like, I have some songs that probably fall under the genre of hardcore on my phone, but I wouldn't consider myself like a avid hardcore concert goer.
Right, and I just generally love heavy music, like heavy metal, hardcore, death metal,
what's
punk
like
rock.
Can you take me through, like, what is it like getting ready for a show, like a heavy metal show or a hardcore punk show?
So in my youth, is to say, like I'm an old man now, but I do feel it at shows now. Like I'm not young anymore, like I used to be. You throw on your tennis shoes, your favorite band T-shirt, maybe a few bucks in your pocket, and you just go. And you see where the night takes you, and maybe bring a little weed to smoke or something. Now it's like, okay, I got to plan out how I'm gonna get there, how I'm gonna leave, when I'm gonna leave, because I might have to leave early because God forbid I got to work the next day.
Okay.
I can make sure I bring earplugs because I don't want to destroy my hearing, because I already noticed it's starting to get a little bit worse course, here and there, too many loud concerts are gonna, knock your decibels down a little bit.
A little, yeah.
So yeah, earplugs.
Do you need you guys, because you even alluded to it a little bit, you guys be moshing.
Oh yeah, no, so not this past Milwaukee Metal Fest, but last year's Milwaukee Metal Fest. I was in the mosh pit for Belushi Speedball. Shout out Belushi Speedball. They're fucking amazing.
Okay.
But I was in the pit for them, and some guy dropped on top of me as if out of a Doctor Strange portal.
Yeah.
Hit me, and his head collided with my head, and I chipped my tooth.
Yeah.
You can see my front tooth there. I still haven't even got it fixed. Yeah.
Wow. Where was it? Did someone throw him?
I think he dived off the stage, but I never saw him coming. It was just clunk, and all of a sudden I went down, and I'm like, holy crap. But I was still having a great time. Like,
sure.
Hey, it happens,
How often does that happen at a heavy metal show where somebody goes down and everyone goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. Do people stop to make sure they're okay, and then we just keep going?
Almost always will stop and huddle around and pick someone up off the ground. Like heavy metal crowds, they're rough and tumble. You got to know what you're getting into, but people are more than willing to help you up, protect you if you're a little bit smaller and you need to get out of the way. Also, you got to kind of judge the crowd and how much participation you're willing to get into, because I went to see a show a couple weeks ago, and the band was called Snuffed on Sight. And when the guy came out on stage, I should have known how this was going to go. He had a shirt that said retard fight music. And I was like, Jesus oh boy. Christ. So then everyone in the pit, they just start spin kicking and wheelhousing. And I'm just standing off, to the side of it, just watching the show. All of a sudden, I just get blasted in the back of the head. Somebody just sucker punched me. There's always the one asshole who he just wants to fight everyone that's not moshing.
So you need to teach me. This is what you need to teach me. This is what I need to understand, right? Because I've never been. Okay, what is the code of conduct of moshing? Is it literally, because what I think of moshing is someone who doesn't go to hardcore shit, right? Mm-hmm. Like I remember in high school or grade school, dances, people moshing was you're kind of pushing your one buddy's in a circle and everyone's kind of throwing him a little bit.
Like I said, judge the vibe. Because the vibe in the band, fists. Yeah, fists is like I said, Snuffed on Sight. That's hardcore. Hardcore. That's punching. That's kicking. That's basically sanctioned fighting.
Yeah, but where do I come in if I go to this show and I see the guy come on stage with a shirt like that? That just means all right.
That means fists up or get out of the way.
So we're just throwing haymakers like that? Like what?
Yes.
And that's fun. And we're all there's no is there animosity? Are people beefing with each other? Or is it kind of just nah, we're all doing this for the love of the sport?
Like I said, there's a mutual combat aspect to it where people know what they're getting into. But then there's that one guy who he punched me in the back of the head when I was just standing there. And then I moved out of the way, and I watched him keep running into people who aren't looking.
Yeah.
Just kicking into him, punching into him, and people are, trying to take a swing back at him.
How does it work? If are you allowed to were people hitting women too? Are women fighting, or do they get their own pit?
Women mosh. Yeah, there's no
discrimination.
Discrimination.
Just rocking
equal
everybody.
Rights and lefts in the pit. I've seen, and it's always some tiny chick who's 5'5" or under, just barreling through the pit like a little gremlin.
Just smoking people, throwing hooks.
No, and they might be getting tossed around, but that's what they like to do. You can find me one of those. Ladies.
Yeah,
hit me up.
do you guys leave a heavy metal show pretty banged up, bruised up, or what?
If you're moshing throughout the night, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Is there a space where people go to not mosh at the show too? Where do the old people go?
In the back. They stay in the back.
They stay in the back.
Because even if you get to the front of the crowd and you're up at the stage, depending on how low the stage is, if it's a low one or no stage at all, people are going to be diving off of there. They're going to climb up and they're going to dive off. Like I said, hardcore.
Wow.
That's more like what you'll see there. Otherwise, it'll be crowd surfers. People surf to the barricade in the front, and then all of a sudden you're standing there, I love Iron Maiden, and all of a sudden bonk in the back of the head, somebody's just having the time of their life, surfing across the crowd.
Yeah, ridiculous. I used to work at a music venue, one of the bigger music venues here in Milwaukee. I won't say the name. And I do remember talking to some security people and being how much is paid? Like, I feel like you guys aren't getting paid enough. Da, 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 da. They're like, no, it's fine. Honestly, we get paid fine. It just sucks when we got like a hardcore or a heavy metal band. I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, dude, it's just, it's different, dude. Because I've been to some rap shows, right? And people get rowdy at rap shows. I'm big. I love hip hop.
Oh yeah,
and
me
I
too.
remember I was at like a somewhat underground rap show, and I was at the rave in Milwaukee, and we're like at the front, and we're in like the rave bar, so that's the smaller stage, and we're like at the front, we're like holding on to the barricade because people are like shoving and throwing whatever, and anytime someone tried to even step onto the barricade, fucking security didn't care, man, woman, child, whatever, boom, knocking them off. But they're afraid of you guys. They're afraid of heavy metal. They're gonna let you get up on there and fucking people's elbow somebody off the top because they don't want to mess with you guys. That's what they told me.
On the rave bar, yeah, they don't even put a barricade out for those shows. Because like I said, people are gonna be diving.
Yeah,
they're gonna be hopping.
They're like,
off
that'll make it worse. So let's not.
It'll just be too packed in there. But yeah, you watch this, big scary looking black guy swaddling angsty little white boys off the crowd all night from surfing to the front.
You can tell paid enough.
You can tell he's not getting paid enough. At least they don't bug about weed anymore. They used to they used to track you down in the crowd if they could see it or smell it. Now they don't even bother.
They just gave up
if they see you, they'll tell you, hey, stop it. Otherwise, I think the rave might have a different security company than they used to. Something policy change.
Yeah.
But I remember the last time I got hassled for weed in the rave was right out of COVID. I went to see the Wailers.
Okay.
And I was the only person that lit up, and this was very strange at a Wailers concert. This is the Wailers, Bob Marley and the Wailers. Reggae. Everybody usually. I was the only one, and all of a sudden I get a tap on my shoulder. Guy's like, he's coming to take your blunt. And I put it in my pocket. And the security guard with, face mask on comes up to me. So where's it at? Where's the weed? And I was like, it's gone. You're too late. And he goes, and he walks away. He just wanted it for himself.
Oh, yeah.
You know he was going to keep it for himself.
Yeah, why wouldn't he? Wow, dude. I couldn't imagine. Being security at a concert venue would probably suck. Just because, like, most of the time, if I have to deal with anybody, they're probably inebriated on something.
And those are the people that are problematic, is the drinkers. It's never the guy who's just smoking weed in the crowd having a good time.
Yeah, it's never that. It's like the people that are, first off, they probably pre-gamed way too hard before the show, and then, like, you're not drinking any water, and if you're at, like, a heavy show, like a heavy metal show or something, you're moshing the whole time. I mean, that's exhausting.
Oh, and yeah, back to the preparation. Yeah, hydration is one. Always get hydrated before, during the show. Don't drink to excess. I don't even really drink at shows anymore because it's too expensive anyway. But
expensive.
I'm gonna get drunk and then not even have a good time. I was at Summerfest on my birthday. My birthday is at the end of June, so almost always during Summerfest.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, I was watching Disturbed in the amphitheater, and I had drank throughout the day. People were buying me drinks. It's my birthday, whatever.
Yeah.
Disturbed's on maybe 2 songs. I sat down. 3rd song, I was throwing up into the beer cup I had. Got it all in the cup.
There you go.
Didn't know what to do with it, so I just stuck it under the seat. You're drinking. Drink it back down.
Put it back up, man. Put it back down.
I ain't that hardcore. No, I stuck it under the seat, so I apologize.
What time was Disturbed playing?
It was like evening. Yeah, it was like 9 o'clock. Okay. They were the headliner in the amphitheater that day.
I was gonna say, because that's something that like is cool. Music festivals are awesome. I think they scare me a little bit, to be honest with you, but they're fun. I think they're a good time mostly. But I couldn't imagine seeing a heavy metal or a hardcore band like in the middle of the day. Like, do you do that? Have you done that?
Yeah, I've seen some in the daytime. Mainly, Summerfest, or like I said, Milwaukee Metal Fest.
Yeah.
Starts at like 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So you're inside the rave at 2 in the afternoon watching bands
You're in a dark
room. Yeah.
I couldn't go to like an outdoor music festival and like it's noon or 1 p.m. Sun is shining, birds are chirping, and listening to somebody fucking screaming some insane shit like that. I'd be like, I don't know about this right now. Let's save this for later.
I mean, for me, it gives me all good and tingly inside.
Gets you jacked up. Okay.
Jacked up.
Okay. Gets you jacked up. Is that what you're listening to at work? Do you just do you got headphones in at work ever? Just fucking.
Don't tell the boss, but yeah, I do.
Okay. Excellent. And you were telling me before we went live that you're a butcher.
Butcher. I've been in the industry for 10 years now. Started as a clerk, cleaning machines and doing ground beef.
Yeah, well, what does that entail? What does that look like when you're getting started?
Oh, it's you do all the work that nobody else wants to do. So you're cleaning like the bandsaw and the meat grinder. You get like a big hose and you spray all that stuff off, all the tables and knives, trays. Basically the whole production room you clean.
Yeah.
And then you got to still take care of, like the wrapping machine, the tables, all that stuff in the front. You're the guy to get everything ready for the next day, basically. You want the butchers to come into a clean department, ideally.
God, man, what does it smell like in there?
There's some interesting ones.
Yeah.
Different ones at times. If you run things right, it's generally like a clean, sanitary smell. But there's, they call it like a bone can or a refuse barrel, whatever, where they put like the meat scraps and the fat and all that. That thing can get kind of ripe if the company doesn't come to pick it up as regularly as they should.
Yeah, that's like a separate like waste container you guys have that gets scooped up. Wow.
Yeah, because that goes off to like a organic recycling facility. However they process that, they take that stuff away.
Wow, dude, what's like so in your time as a butcher, what is maybe the grossest thing you've either butched or seen get butched?
I don't really see any of that stuff as gross, because I'll tell you this. When I got offered my first meat department job, I was like a bagger stocker at a small grocery store on my side of town. And the meat manager comes up to me one day and he goes, "You're not squeamish, are you, kid?" And I'm like, "Not really, no." He goes, "You want to work in the meat department?" And I'm like, "Well, does it pay more?" And he goes, "Of course it pays more." And I'm like, "All right, let's do it."
Yeah.
And yeah, I went in there and never really saw anything that like grossed me out as far as,
What animal smells the worst?
Smells the worst, I would say.
Or the best, I don't know.
Or the best. There's nothing. If it smells bad, then it should be bad. You shouldn't be cutting it. Otherwise, sometimes pork can get a little gassy when it's in those cryo bags. You open it, it's a little funky. When you first open it. I don't know if you ever buy like baby back ribs in the grocery store. Sometimes it can happen.
Interesting.
But you let that air out, and it's usually fine. But if it retains that like kind of sour or rancid smell, then don't risk it.
Wow. What's something that people that aren't butchers don't know or don't get about butchers?
Everything.
Okay.
All of it.
Okay. What's something? Give me something. What's something that people get wrong?
Oh my God. It's just like they don't understand how things have to be processed, as far as, oh, I want this steak cut thinner, and they just stick a package in your hand. I'm like, well, that's a 1-inch steak. How am I supposed to make that thinner? I would have to go open a whole new thing, cut you a whole new one. Yeah. And feasibly, you can't always do that, because if you've already produced so much for a day, you don't want to produce excess to create waste.
Yeah.
So it's like you got to kind of draw a line between satisfying the customer and not wasting your product and managing it properly.
Yeah.
And people think it's just all unlimited. They always think you have more in the back. You go get me more out the back. There's no more in the back.
This came off
Trust
an animal.
me.
I only had so much of that animal.
Like,
I don't know what you want from me. Yeah.
Like, you're out of chicken wings? Yes. All the chickens have been killed for the day. Yes. Yeah. We don't do that, but the ones that they sent us pre-done, yes, they're all gone.
Yeah. Wow. What's like the most difficult meat to prepare, to get, from it gets on your table to being done for the consumer?
I would say to get really good at beef cuts and processing beef, I would say is probably one of the ones that'll take longer, because pork is usually what they'll start apprentices off cutting at. You cut the pork chops, you trim some pork tenderloins, stuff like that. Yeah. But then when you're breaking down like a quarter cow or primals, even just into rib roasts and steaks, and how to break seams and what you're supposed to take out and what to look for, that's the sort of thing that it just comes with time, repetition.
Wow.
Having somebody show you something, you learn how to do it one way. Somebody will show you that exact same process. They do it a little different way. And that's something that I always keep in mind over my years, is just constantly absorbing from other people. Let me show you this, and if I like it and it works for me, I'll keep doing it that way. If I don't, I'll keep doing it my way or the way somebody else teaches me.
What's like a bad day or a bad shift as a butcher look like? Like, what's like the stuff? What sucks about being a butcher?
So I've been in small grocery stores, large grocery stores, local butcher shops, and they all have their own set of problems. I'm in a large grocery chain right now, and corporate honestly is a problem. They take a lot of stuff out of your hands as far as some of what you can order. They'll just send you things, and you have to like try to keep your counts right of how much you have on hand, how much you have back stock, but that never stays perfect.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the warehouse just goes, oh, you're a big store, so here, you can have this. And then you're left with all this extra stuff you didn't want, and you got to find a spot to merchandise. Yeah, find a space to merchandise it, find a space to store it even.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, so like so I worked in retail too I worked at Target for a few years. And like I know like about like backstocking product and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I never had to backstock like an animal, like, or pieces of an animal. Like, are they sending you, because they send you like a somewhat processed piece of meat,
yeah,
and then you're finishing processing it, so it's like, okay, I can Darren, go buy one steak.
Yeah.
What do they send you, and then how do you figure out like what's your backstocking system look like when you're at a big chain?
So generally, like with beef, it'll come in anywhere from like a 40 to 60 pound case of like, say, chuck rolls. It'll be 2 or 3 whole chuck rolls, and you break that down in your chuck steaks, your chuck eyes, your chuck roast.
Yeah.
And then you just get that, like, so you get a box of ribeyes, a box of tenderloins, and then you just kind of determine through, knowledge, experience, how much you're going to go through the week, what sales you have coming up. Do I need to order extra, short loins for a T-bone and porterhouse sale, that sort of thing. So it's a lot of forecasting.
When is the busiest time for a butcher? When do you
Christmas, Thanksgiving, and 4th of July.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I would say Labor Day, those are like the big 4.
What meats for each one? I mean, turkey probably.
Yeah, turkey for Thanksgiving, rib roast and tenderloin for Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah. And
then grilling season, so you like your 4th of July, Labor Day, that's brats, burgers, all that, skewers. People love all the grillable stuff.
Yeah. Have you ever like really messed up as a butcher? What's like a fuck up look like?
So I've dropped like a whole pan of, like, just cut a whole pan of tenderloin. They're all ready to go in the case, dropped it on the floor. Now it's gone. You got to throw it away, or, weigh it up so you record how much you lost.
Yeah.
And it just happens. It's part of the business. It's part of the loss, especially like when you're learning to cut. I try not to look at people too harshly on their fuck ups, especially if they didn't learn how to do it the right way the first time. So yeah, you're gonna quite literally butcher some things in the process of learning, and that's they just have to know, as an apprentice or as a clerk who wants to learn, it's gonna just take time.
Yeah. What's the skill that takes people the longest to get when they're starting out? Or the thing that's the hardest to get, that once it clicks, everything gets a little bit easy for you, a little bit easier?
I'd say how to handle a knife, but kind of how to handle a knife, how to work the bandsaw, because when you got to cut bone-in product, you need to use a bandsaw.
Can we look up a bandsaw? What's a bandsaw? I think I know what that is.
Like a meat bandsaw, because they make like wood saws and all of that.
Meat bandsaw. Hopefully we don't see.
Yeah, like
okay. Yeah,
Hobart,
let the people see that.
Skylark. Yeah, they got all different time.
You can buy them on Amazon.
You can buy them anywhere.
Just pull up so they can see.
Anyone. It looks just like the one I use at work.
Wow.
Yep.
So what? Okay, so you're like guiding.
Yeah.
Through the table, like the table on that.
So you're standing in front of that front plate.
Yeah.
And that moves from right to left. And then you push your beef primal up against the back plate there.
Yeah.
And you roll it across from right to left. And there's a guide that shows you what size it is. So inch, 2 inch, quarter inch. You set your size and you just run it through.
Wow.
And you catch it from the back side. You catch your steak or chop coming off, and then you just keep pushing through.
Anybody ever cut a little piece of their finger off and then we just mix that in with the meat?
We don't mix it in, that's for sure.
No,
At least you're not supposed to.
I mean, it could happen.
But
that'd be a big lawsuit. But
I've fortunately not seen or hurt myself on the bandsaw or seen anybody hurt themselves on the bandsaw, but there have absolutely been some horrific injuries. Like, you don't want to wear rings or watches working a bandsaw. If that gets caught in there, you're gonna lose your whole hand. Or like, we wear mesh cut gloves when we're cutting with knives. You take that sucker off when you're on a bandsaw, because if your hand gets
oh my god,
yeah, that'll be a horrible. I did work with a guy who lost a little nip of his finger to a bandsaw years ago. He was one of my teachers when I first started learning. He was an older guy, but wow, yeah, and he also was missing a digit on another finger, but that was from a snowblower accident. So my guy just wasn't lucky with blades.
He just doesn't really take care of his fingers. It sounds like he don't really want all of them. That's yeah, I know people like that, man. That's wow, dude, that's insane. Okay, so we're learning a lot about
also the meat grinder. Do not play with a meat grinder if you don't know what you're doing, because there's usually like a plate on the front that's just like general for like ground beef. You can't really hurt yourself with that one, but they'll have like wider plates for grinding like fat and stuff like that. And I stick your finger in there and you'll lose that. Or if you put it in the hopper, you could lose it to the auger.
So it's like, you got like an industrial one of these guys?
That's like a tabletop grinder. I used one of those when I was at the butcher's shop.
Can you switch to so they can see that?
But like grocery stores usually have like a big Hobart grinder that can hold like 50, 60 plus pounds.
Yeah, just put
like those look like all kitchen and tabletop ones.
Yeah, do like industrial. Let's see what an industrial
grocery store.
Looks.
No, industrial, yeah, kind of like that. Mine's a little bit bigger. I've worked with ones of all different sizes. But then they do have industrial, would be like you go to one of the meat packers where they're doing bulk ground beef, and they'll have, multi-hundred pounds grinders,
Damn, bro.
Those are like, you could fall into one of those things.
Yeah. You ever thought about going vegan after all this? Does ever make you be like, what? I don't know if I want.
So even when I was in high school, I had a teacher who, shout out Mr. Ram. I don't know where he is these days, but
Mr. Ram,
favorite teacher I ever had in high school. But he played for us a documentary about like the farming industry and how things are just not done well. Like the animals are crowded into cages,
CAFOs and everything. Yeah, we've like done a little bit of stuff on that. On
this podcast, it really opened my eyes to that. And then when I got into the food industry, I really saw firsthand from like the opposite end of like, oh, that's why they do this. And I just wish there was a way to scale it down and make it more at home. That's why I do like when people can't shop at a local butcher shop, because generally they do things a little bit better. They buy from more local farms, but even then sometimes they got to source from the big packers, and that's coming from a massive kill lot. And
it's tough, dude.
I just wish there was a better way that we could bring food to people and make it feasible and renewable, and just not cruel. Like cruelty, I don't dig that at all.
I'm with you there. And that's something too, like I went vegan for a couple of months during the pandemic just to try it out, but I don't think it's something. I think like eating in general is something that is so personal to everybody, and people have different dietary restrictions, and some people might want to be vegan but they can't because of whatever just doesn't work for them and their body. So I would never tell somebody to like be vegan or go vegetarian or anything like that. And I eat plenty of meat. Sadly, there's probably a chicken genocide every single day that I wake up because of how much chicken I have to eat, which is terrible. It's so sad, but it is what it is. So I respect everybody that can cut meat out or wants to do that, but I would never tell anybody to. But it does suck. It's like I just wish there was a way that we could maybe toe that line a little bit better, because we're obviously the pendulum is swung one way a little bit too far, probably.
Yeah, and steak is delicious, so I'm not gonna give it up.
What's okay as a butcher? What's like, if you're in the grocery store, to give us regulars, us normies, like a pro tip, how can we spot a good cut of meat, or what should we look for and maybe stay away from when we're just grocery shopping?
So that could be a little bit subjective as far as like, do you like your steak on the leaner, a little bit more chewy side? Do you like it a little bit more tender? I say look for something that's got good marbling if you want it nice and tender, and you want to have a steak that's got like a good like rare medium cook. If you like your thing to be a little bit tougher, like more like a shoe leather, I guess.
You're a scary person. Stay away from me.
Then go for the lean,
Yeah.
sirloin cut or whatever. But I'd say just look at marble profile, like how much fat is through the beef.
Yeah.
Generally, the more the better.
What's up with the what is it, Wagyu beef?
Wagyu. Oh, that's Because
I hear there's a whole like, I don't know much about the world of butchering, and that's why I'm talking to you today. But I've heard that a lot of places will advertise that we have Wagyu burgers or we have Wagyu this, that, whatever, and it's like 1 to 2%
Wagyu burger. Oh my God,
that, and then the rest of it is just bullshit, right? So like, how does that, as a butcher, what do you?
So as someone who's made Wagyu burgers, is like when I was cutting Wagyu ribeyes and tenderloins, I would take the trimmings from that and grind it with a little bit of more leaner beef so it's not all fat and nasty.
Yeah.
And that's the Wagyu burger. Little pro tip for you guys, it's not like a fancy steak they chuck in the grinder, which I've had people buy steaks from me and say, put this through the grinder, and I'm like, it's your money. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
People want me to grind tenderloins and stuff. Like, okay.
Wow, dude. Yeah, what's the give me what, like, what's the worst thing that can happen to you as a butcher, right? So you talked a little bit about corporate sucks, right? That when you're day-to-day life. What's like when I worked at Target, right? Like, it sucked when they, you've got a big truck that day, you're pushing product to the floor, and they call you up because it's a little bit busy at the lanes, and they're like, Darren, I need you to come up and work the lanes for 30 minutes. And then you get done, and then you go back to do your truck, and it's getting close to your time to be done for the day. You have about 30 minutes of work left, and they're like, Darren, did you finish? And you're like, well, no. Remember, I had to go do some extra shit for 30 minutes.
Well,
what is the equivalent of that? Maybe not exactly that, but like something that sucks, it's annoying as a butcher.
I think you said it is, like, honestly, it's staffing sometimes. So like, if we don't have anyone to run the front counter because we have a full service case,
yeah,
if we don't have anyone to run that, then somebody has to stop what they're doing, either breaking load, cutting, weighing, whatever, and put that together, and then someone has to be out there to serve customers all day.
Yeah.
And if I gotta stop, cutting, stocking, doing whatever every few minutes to help a customer, I mean, personally, it gets a little annoying for me, even though that's what I'm there to do. Obviously, I'll do it.
Yeah.
But it's like,
it's not efficient.
No, and it's nice to have somebody that's like kind of dedicated for that, and then you say, hey, this is like, you hang out here, just hold it down.
Yeah.
Let me go get my thing done.
It'd be nice if some of these, billion-dollar grocery stores would like staff adequately, would pay people, because they want to, like, the reason that would happen at Target, I started working at Target during the pandemic. So I worked there for a couple of years during that time. And it was hilarious. They had like recently touted, I think like the year or two before that they were like, we're raising our base pay to $15 an hour, da-da-da-da-da. And you know what they did at the same time as raising their minimum wage to $15 an hour was they like deleted half of their jobs. So like, they don't have people that they would have like one or two like retirees work the lanes. And then they would be like, that they know 2 people is not enough to work the lanes.
Yeah.
And they'll just go, well, we know everybody else that's doing their other job. We'll just call them up periodically and have everybody rotate and just like pick up the slack here.
And then they wonder why things don't get done.
Get done.
I work at a union store, so it's optional to join the union if you get hired on. And I did, because I've always wanted to be in a union. And organized labor is like the cornerstone to workers' rights.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like all the rights that we have as workers, just regular workers today, were fought for by unions or people who organized their labor.
Yeah.
In order to say, hey, you need to give us this. You need to do better for us. You need to treat us right because we make all of your money.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
So I was on the bargaining committee for our new union contract. Got a new contract. Everybody got a pay raise.
Yeah.
Contract took effect. Then all of a sudden, all the part-timers, their hours got cut to the minimum of what the contract allows. So they got to pay everybody more, but now they want to cut everybody's hours. And obviously, they hope people will quit or, vacate their jobs or whatever so that
they can fill it with non-union people.
Hire more people, hope they don't join the union, they pay them less, or just base pay them less to begin with.
That's it's so shitty. That's like the thing. We almost sound like boomers a little bit, but it is like, dude, everything just gets worse. under capitalism, dude. Everything just gets worse.
Well, the boomers haven't figured that out. That's the fucking problem,
I
guys.
know.
That's the problem.
They helped. They entrenched us in this
God.
bullshit, dude. It's crazy. It's like you look at it, and it's funny because they're the ones that will complain about it the most. And now they got me complaining about it too, right? It's like you used to go to a Walmart or a Target or whatever, a regular department store. You used to go there, and you would walk around the store, and it didn't matter if you went to the fabric section in a Walmart. There was a lady that had been there for 10 years, just working the fabric section. She could answer questions about fabrics. She could cut the fabric for you, do all this bullshit. Now, it is only high schoolers or like, college-aged people that do not give a fuck. And there's like 4 of them for 20 departments.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be like, because I remember, because I was one of them, and I'd have fucking a 60-year-old come up to me and be like, hey, what do you think about this microwave over this microwave? And I'd be like, I don't know. I work here for 20 hours a week.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what makes a good microwave or what doesn't. I have one at my house. That's all I know. You know? And so it's like when we want things to be better, but we also don't want to pay for it. Like we want people to be good at shit, but we don't want to pay to train them.
Yeah, like half the guys in my department, they're all young, either, late teens or early 20s, and they don't give a shit. They don't work. They come in and they wander around, they look at their phones.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it was that either my mom did or I did right, that I'm going to give the credit to my mom. Like she made sure I learned a good work ethic.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, nothing comes for free in life. Everything you have to get yourself.
Sure, yeah.
And if you want to move up in the ladder of life, you have to actually like try. You got to learn new things. You got to take on new challenges. And these guys, they just seem like they don't care. Like they don't have any motivation or aspiration in life.
Yeah. And I would argue that they don't care because the system does not reward
the system doesn't reward it. Exactly.
Right? I had a buddy, this is one of my favorite quotes from people that work in retail, and it was like, I don't get paid by the box, I get paid by the hour.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was like, no matter how big his truck was for his section in the day, he got done in 8 hours. It didn't matter if it was 12 vehicles. This motherfucker got it done in 8 hours. If it was 2 vehicles, it took him 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
It did not matter. He was going to finish in 8 hours because that's what he gets paid for. And he didn't want to lose his hours, and he wasn't going to stay any later than he had to. And like the bosses would always be like, yo, Johnny, you kind of got a smaller truck today. You think you can help out, push a couple vehicles in this other section? He'd be like, I don't know. I'll let you know. Check back with me in a couple hours. And it would always be like, he is taking his sweet time to make sure that takes 8 hours. Because why would he work harder? I could never do that. I feel like I'm similar to you where like I kind of have that work ethic and a little bit of pride in what I do. So like I couldn't quite get myself there, but I always respected people that could do that. Like, yeah, the system's playing you, play the system right back. I can't blame you for that.
Yeah, it's like it's going to take me 8 hours regardless. So
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, because it's the thing is like right now, or the way like in grocery stores, I should say, in department stores, it's set up if you're a good worker, your reward for that is doing extra work and not being compensated for it.
Yes, absolutely. And generally management, especially like upper management in the store, they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
No idea.
No. And I think you have to be the dumbest person in the room to get that job because they overwhelmingly run things very poorly. They don't have communication skills. And that's what your job is talking to people and like organizing. And if you can't lead a team and organize and rally the troops and say, hey, let's all get this done together, then what the fuck are you in charge for?
Yeah, I think you're right. Maybe they pick them on purpose, man. Maybe.
Yeah, because they like having this weird feudal system where it's them versus us and us versus them. And we always think everything is their fault. They think everything is our fault. And then upper management can just come into the store and be like, well, you guys are doing great, but you could do better. And they go home and count their fucking millions and their mansions, wherever those people come from. I don't know.
Yeah. It is
lizard
sketchy.
People.
They're scary, man. I remember we had some weird. My district manager always freaked me out. I remember when it was like they would come in and everybody was scared, and I'm like, what are we scared for? And they would always tell us that we were like one of the top stores in the district, which I don't really believe because just knowing what went on at the store, I'm like, there's no way. But like. I mean, we do our job, like most of the people. I mean, some people suck, sure, but I'm like, what could they be mad about, or what are they going to do today? Like,
if I ever want to get all the management in my store riled up, I'll just start the rumor and be like, hey, I heard there's a walk today. And then they'll start going around. They'll start running around like chickens with their heads cut off. All of a sudden, they want to do things. It's like, okay. Yeah, so if I just tell them their bosses are dropping in, then maybe they'll come and work.
They're like, Daniel, what can I do to support you today? What can I help with? Yeah, that's interesting how that works out, man.
Got to play mind games with those people.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. We were speaking of mind games or maybe Jedi mind tricks. We were talking a little off air. You're a big Star Wars guy.
Oh, I love it. Like I said, inked into my skin, man.
Yeah, you got the Boba sigil in there. I respect that.
What Mythosaur?
What are we like? Are you into the Lego Star Wars at all?
So I wish I had the money and space for Lego because I see it's kind of overtaking your space a little bit.
I have to organize this a little bit.
But as someone who I got real heavy for a few years into collecting action figures, so like the 3 3/4 and the 6-inch Star Wars highly articulated figures, like the Black Series.
Yeah, the Black Series
had
guys.
hundreds, and
Really,
it got to the point where I couldn't display them. I had to move. I didn't have the space. I needed money, so I pieced out my collection as much as I could.
Really?
It broke my heart to do it, but I needed the money at the time, and I figured, this is more important. Things can be recollected. And I've since bought a few figures here and there. It kind of overtook my little dresser top, but...
Who's somebody that you had to give up that hurt? Or which one hurt the most to give up?
Which one hurt the most? Oh, that's tough. I had... Now you're making me sad thinking about all the things I had to give away.
I mean, it's making me sad
yeah.
for you.
Okay, so I see back here you've got a little Anakin's 501st display. I had the 3 3/4. I had Anakin. I had a bunch of the 501st Storm or Clone Troopers.
Yeah.
It's just a beautiful display. I had the gunship. Oh man. Oh, it was nice.
I hope you got good money for this, man.
No,
because I'm gonna kill
the one that hurt the worst. I bought the Vintage Collection HasLab Razor Crest. So it was a 3 3/4 scale of the Razor Crest.
Yeah.
I never even opened it out the box, and I ended up selling it.
Wow.
I turned a profit off of it, but
but it hurt still.
It hurt to let go.
Yeah, dude.
When you don't even get to play with the toy, and you go, you know what? I just gotta let it go.
Yeah. God, dude. I gotta.
Can't tease myself.
I gotta start opening some of these boxes. That means because that could happen to me any moment.
Well, if you don't ever want to build that Sanctum Sanctorum behind me, I'll give it a good home.
Yeah. No, dude. I
stay away from the Lego store at the mall because I know it's just teasing myself with things that I can't have.
Well, I bring it up, dude, because I mean, you can see I like collecting Legos. I love them. I hope when I get some more space, I'll build more of these sets and display them and whatnot. But I wouldn't consider myself like there's some people that get like every single set. I try to get as many of like the Lego Star Wars specifically. If there's a cool Marvel one, I love it. I'll grab it. Other than that, if there's like a really cool Ideas one, maybe. But I don't like collect every single set. I'm not like a completionist in that way. But this, I'm trying to be more closer to completionist. And I don't know if you've heard the stuff that's been going on with Lego this year, but they've been like increasingly price gouging people that in the within specifically Lego Star Wars because they know they can get so much for it.
Well, it happened with the Black Series figures. They went up from, you could get one figure for, $19.99 when I started collecting them, sometimes a little cheaper.
Yeah.
And now for a basic single figure, just the figure in the box, usually with one accessory, is like $26 plus tax.
That's ridiculous, dude.
Plus tax. And that's just for a basic, no frills figure. Like that Mando you got up on the shelf, that one's probably at least $35.
Yeah.
$40 in the store.
Yeah.
Like they're ridiculous. And the prices just keep going up because people are gonna pay it.
But it makes me sad. The thing that makes me sad about it, I'm an adult Lego collector, right? And I can own that, right? But it's at a point, it's going to ruin it. There's going to be a generation of people that don't get to grow up loving that thing or collecting. When I was a kid, I loved getting Star Wars action figures. We called them Star Wars guys. We'd always be like, Mom, can we get a Star Wars guy? Can we get a Star Wars guy? And, most of the time she'd say no. But like every, fourth or fifth trip to Walmart, she'd be like, sure, you can pick out a figure. And they were like $6.99, $7.99. And it was a big deal. We had a big bucket of them at home. And like it was just the coolest thing when you could add a new Jedi or add a new clone. And then I grow up now with adult money, and so I am an avid collector because I'm like, okay, I have more money now. I can do that. I don't have a little me running around, so I can pick up a couple ones.
Please the little you inside.
The little me inside, the guys I couldn't get, I can go get them. And the same thing with the Legos, right? But it gets to a point where it's like Lego specifically is pricing kids out where now parents, there's no way those kids, like, you've got me for life because you had me. It was cheap when I was a kid, so my parents were able to let me get some. Now there's no way parents can afford, especially with everything else that's so expensive. How can parents justify spending $45 on, in Lego Star Wars, they have these things called battle packs. So it's like they're little sets. They're supposed to be like $10 to $15, and it gets you like 4 clones or like 4 droids or something, so that the kids can play with stuff, or they can build their army out. They can get 10 of them or whatever. And what happened is adult collectors have come in, and we all want to do it. We want to build the army of clones or whatever. You want to have all these people, and Lego noticed that, so they've just increasingly bumped the price little bit by little, and they like will add some extra BS little pieces to be like, oh, it's extra detail, so the piece count is this high, so we have to charge you this.
The way they scam the piece count,
it's fucked, dude.
I watched a video about someone who was probably as passionate, if not more than you, who broke down how the price per minifigure has gone up. Because like the sets get bigger and the minifigures get less and less. And yeah, it's like when you look at it, those battle packs are a better deal because you're getting more figures per dollar. Yeah. But then when you get the big set that you really want to play with, it comes with like 5 guys, and you're like, where the hell's the rest of the team?
Literally, yeah, they talk about. I think I might have seen the same video. There's literally a guy breaking down where he was talking about how like you will get a tank, like a clone troop, some sort of tank from the Star Wars movies, right? And it's got space to fit 12 guys, and they give you the set with 2 clones.
They've always
for people that don't care about this. I'm sorry you have to hear this next part, but that's ridiculous
for man children like us. Yeah, like that we want our toys. All right, we want our toys, and we want them to be worthwhile. I gotta see. I think I got. Dude, I want to bang for my buck when it comes to my toys.
This set right here. This set is on shelves right now. It's like $25. This is like their battle packs now, like one of them, right? So you get 4 clones, you get some battle droids and super battle droids. All right, that's
a lot of play value.
That's a lot of play value. This is a okay set. I wouldn't say it's amazing. It's but decent set for value. $25. Parent can get this. That would last me as a kid for a while. That I could infinite possibilities with this, dude. There's a set the exact same size, same box shape, less figures, less build, like less playability. Just went on sale. It's $45, and it just launched on August 4th. I'm not even joking. Can we pull this up real quick? Because, yeah.
Mr. Lego, how dare you?
Look up Lego.com. I'll show you the set. You can switch to tier list in a second, and I will walk you through the set because it's getting the reviews. People are bombing it. People are starting to.
Yeah, people don't want to pay that just for plastic toys.
Yeah, don't show all my points and everything. Let's go to the shop. Just hit Star Wars.
Don't show how dissatisfied I am with their company that I keep buying their products.
Yeah, sets by theme. Click it. Click Star Wars.
Oh, speaking of Lego, if you ever make a Fraser Cafe or Fraser's apartment, I will buy that instantly, and I'll pay you anything for it.
Probably will, dude. I've got the Friends apartment and the Friends Central Perk.
I've seen people make mock-ups of it, and yeah, Cafe Nervosa and Fraser's apartment. Somebody at Lego, do it right now. I'll pay you anything.
Idea. Look at this. Okay, click that. That's the same set. So 4 figures and 3. You get the 3 super battle droids. I don't even know. Do you not even get any regular battle droids in this one? So you get less. Look like it. You get less figures, dude. This is on sale for $44.99 right now. Look at the rating, 1 star, because everybody's done with their shit, dude.
You don't.
And I want that. I am the demographic that I like. I would love some yellow clones. I think that's what is it, 313th? Yeah, like I would love that.
Star Battalion, baby.
I don't have any of them. I got a bunch of 501st. Let me get some yellow guys, all right? And that's what the kids are thinking too. Oh, I have the blue clone. I have the purple clone. Let me get some yellow clones. They can't because mom and dad is not going to spend almost $50 on a set. It's literally on shelves right now next to this set, which is $25 for $24.99. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And they did the same thing. They have if you go back a page, the 2 sets next to it are getting absolutely review bombed too because they're like both. They keep making the sets smaller. They add a tiny bit more detail, give you less figures, and then they bump the price by 20 to 40%. Yeah, they're getting trashed right now.
That's egregious.
This is if I'm gonna have you pull up one last thing. I won't have you pull up anything else the rest of the day. If you can just you can just use this tab. You don't have to pull up a new one. The Lego Star Wars $1,000 Death Star leak. So there's a $1,000 Death Star coming out in October. I heard about this last year that it was going to be coming out. Everybody was excited about it in the Lego community. Turns out, we're all thinking, oh, how big is it going to be? $1,000. That's going to be huge. It's going to be massive. I don't like it. Actually, looks like it's going to end up being smaller than both of the other 2 Death Stars we've gotten previously that were both $400 and $500 respectively. It's also not. It's definitely meant to be a play set, but it's not play scale. It's like mini scale. So like the original one, can you go back to just look up Lego Death Star. Click that one right below the one you have pulled up. It's in that like tab. Yeah, click that. So that's like the 2005.
Yeah, I've
it was
seen
the big
that
sphere.
one.
We've seen it. That's like in a bunch of movies. People always have it as a prop. I think in like one of the Lego or the Marvel
Spider-Man
movie, he drops and Ned drops one of them. It's big. It's massive. You can play with it. There was tons of figures. It came with a bunch of figures. This new one, if you go back to the new one, it's not even a circle, or it is a circle. It's not a sphere. It's flat because they give you a slice of the Death Star. So everyone's calling it the $1,000 Death Slice.
Yeah, no, that's a pizza slice of a Death
And I mean,
Star.
it's cool. Don't get me wrong. That's cool. But there's an Imperial shuttle that's like the size of 2 stormtroopers standing next to each, like standing on top of each other. Why are we doing that? Why not just make the thing big enough? Obviously, I don't need you to fit a full-size Imperial shuttle in there. It's going to be scaled down.
Yeah, and like you're not gonna buy that for your kid's 8th birthday either. Like they're
That's
selling that to adults. Make it adult sized, or at least adults who might play with it with their kids, whatever. But a child isn't gonna build that. Just beef it up. Yeah, people will pay $1,000, but not for something that isn't worth the money.
Yeah, dude. And so like I don't know. A lot of people are saying that like it might be time to boycott. You got to boycott the product. I haven't bought any of the new ones that have come out recently.
I mean, you got to vote with your dollars. And like I said, with like the Black Series and all that stuff, when they raised the prices, I stopped buying. And like I ended up losing that FOMO, the fear of missing out. Oh, they'll never have this figure again. Because then they re-release everything.
Yeah.
Everything gets re-released. If it's exclusive, it'll come out maybe with a little bit different paint or whatever, but it'll come out again, maybe even a better version.
Yeah, that's what I'm at. Like with these new sets specifically when it comes to Lego, I was so let down, man. And I collect a bunch of. I mean, I've got the Jabba sail bar, the $500 Jabba sail bars behind me that like came out earlier this year that I was pumped for, and that's a great set. They did a great job with that. But then you're gonna drop this fucking garbage. It's like. And it looks good. Like there's a lot of detail. I'm sure there's a lot of time that went into it. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's like how for $1,000 you're gonna justify giving me a slice of the Death Star? Don't call it the Death Star. Give me a
the Death Disc.
How hard would it have been to take the ones that they had done before, make it, I don't know, like 1.5 times as big, and just add paneling to it.
You could just scale it up, add the paneling
so that you could have it as
proper display.
But then you could have it for kids. Then it would. You know what? If it was $1,000 and it was like a bomb display piece for the adult man children like us, but also could double as if I had kids and I wanted them to play with it, that it would be like the coolest play set of all time. I think $1,000 fine.
I think the only large scale, like ridiculous toy that I fantasized about having, it was way before my time, but was the USS Flag, was a G.I. Joe.
Whoa.
Like the 1980s, the 3 3/4 G.I. Joe, but it was a full like aircraft carrier, the USS Flag aircraft carrier. This thing was absolutely
Were you big into G.I.
massive. Joe? A little bit. Like I had some growing up. Like I loved to play with action figures, Army Men. I never was like a G.I. Joe specifically loyalist. I had a lot of like the Action Force or whatever the Walmart brand of G.I. Joes is. I had a lot of those guys.
I had some of those guys. Let's see. This guy looks
G.I. Jim, whatever. But yeah, that thing.
Dude, is that? Wait, pull up those kids playing with it.
The out of the box, yeah. Like, look at that.
That's huge, dude. I understand why you
can put a whole plane on that. So, like, when you want to play with the Death Star, you want to feel like, holy crap, the Death Star is actually huge.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to hold up my X-Wing fighter next to the Death Star and have it look like it's twice the size than it should be.
Yeah, it is crazy. Like, that is, and that's the thing, too. So, I have back here somewhere, like, an Imperial shuttle, like a new Lego Star Wars Imperial shuttle. That the set I wanted as a kid growing up. And so, like, very rarely were my parents like, yeah, we'll drop $100 on a Lego set. Like, fuck no, they were not doing that. But it was my first year in, like, tackle football. I was in, like, 1st or 2nd grade. And my dad told me as a joke, because I was playing safety, and nobody throws the ball. When you're playing young football, no quarterbacks that are throwing the ball. They just run the ball up the middle every time. And he was like, if you get a pick 6, then I'll buy you this Lego set. It was the Star Destroyer at the time in like 2006. And that was huge compared to this set that I have behind me. It's huge. And maybe we'll look up like a downsizing scale of it in a second. But like I ended up, whatever. There was a freak incident where it was like the second last game of the year. This team, for some reason, we were beating them. They threw a Hail Mary. And I picked it off and I ran it back like 90 some yards. I fell right before the touchdown. My dad, the next day, like he gave me a bunch of shit. And then it was like a day or two later, like I came home and he got it for me as like that was pretty sick.
He was like, good.
So I was hyped.
Yeah.
But I have that somewhere at my house, like all the pieces for it. It's not built or whatever. Somewhere at my mom's house. And I bought this new one and dude, it's literally probably almost maybe 60% the size of the old one. Like they're downsizing them, but then charging you double. And it's like, I just remember as a kid, I was holding it like, this thing is huge. This is awesome. Like you're talking about, like I'm holding a Star Destroyer. This is a big deal. If you were holding this G.I. Joe boat, like you'd be like, holy shit. I wonder if that thing floats.
I was going to say, you could probably survive the Milwaukee flood on that thing.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's like, it's got like an epicness to it that I think is like, there's a magic for kids in that. And I think like these companies, because they're trying to squeeze me and you, because we're these adult collectors that got into things when we were kids. By trying to squeeze us, I think they're going to balloon themselves out of these markets. Like, I do think, like, if LEGO don't get their shit together, there's not going to be a bunch of LEGO Star Wars nerds. I mean, it's a huge IP, so there'll always be people. But they're not going to be kids, like, grow up to be me and are like, yeah, I'll spend a, ungodly amount of money on LEGO Star Wars every year.
Yeah, they'll be like, oh, that's Dad's crap that he collected for too many years.
Exactly.
We got to get rid of that.
Yeah, that's because that's not what they're going to be playing with, because they're going to be playing with whatever parents can afford them to play with right now. So I think it's just interesting. But yeah, I wanted to bring up the $1,000 Lego set because that's ridiculous.
We'll say the one collectible I have not noticed in here, and thank God, is any pop vinyls.
No, I don't do the pop vinyls. I think I
despise pop vinyls.
I have
those ruined collecting, honestly. Like, they overtook everything.
Really?
Yeah, like you can't go anywhere without seeing shelves and shelves and shelves of pop vinyls, clearance pop vinyls, new pop vinyls, just every color, every character, every IP you can imagine. It's too much. And they're not even enjoyable to look at. They're ugly.
Ooh,
they're all ugly.
Are you talking you're talking
Funko Pop
Funko
vinyls,
Pops.
yeah. Funko Pops.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was gonna say, I think I do have one or two somewhere. I think someone gifted me one. I feel like it's an easy
Thank
gift.
God it was,
I've never bought a Funko Pop, if that makes sense.
I bought one, and it was the Anakin Skywalker with the Darth Vader eyes, so basically Darth Vader, and I bought it because I knew I could flip it. Beyond that, I stayed away from them because they're just static, crappy figurines.
Well, they're kind of silly too. Like, so someone got me one. I think it was like a Kingdom Hearts one because I love Kingdom Hearts. It was like when the new game was coming out a few years ago, and they can't even stand.
No,
like, you literally have to keep them in the box. Because if you actually, like, I didn't know that. I wasn't like into collecting them, and so someone got me one. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm gonna put this up on my desk or whatever. I stand it up. It's like Donald Duck from Kingdom Hearts. He can't fucking stand up because the head is too big, so it doesn't. The weight distribution isn't even. I'm like, so is the point of collecting this just to have this in a box? Like, that's lame. And I mean, I do that. I mean, we've got Mando up there, but that figure, if I didn't want to collect it, still has like intrinsic value because a kid could just play with that.
Right. And like I had that exact figure probably. When you pop him out the box, he's awesome. He poses, he stands, you can do all different stuff with him. Like, that's what I did. Was I always open mine. I like to pose them. I like to take figure photography. I would go outside and like try to set up environments and make things look really cool. I used to do that a lot.
Dude, when I'm rich and famous, I'm going to do Lego stop motion videos with my collection. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend hours at a time every day just making dumb YouTube shorts, Lego stop motion videos.
Well, those are going to be showing up in my For You feed all the time because I'll
20
click
years
on
now,
every
30.
one. Yeah.
Dude, I grew up on that shit, so it's like, and the same thing, dude, the figure photography, like I follow some people on TikTok that do really good figure photography, or they do stop motion videos where it'll be like Mando and like he's crossing over Thanos and like throwing a lob to Yoda and like stupid shit like that. It's so cool, man. But I don't know. I do think like collecting is getting ruined in like every field, because I'm a basketball player. I played college basketball, and like you can't get a pair of Kobe's, which are like probably universally the best performance basketball shoe, I would say, by like real basketball players. You can't get them unless you play in the NBA or you're some white kid in the suburbs that knows how to run bots on goat.com or whatever, because they limited release them since he's passed.
Right.
And they'll do them like a few times a year in a certain colorways. And unless you get the drop, which if you are in on the drop when they're releasing, you still pay $180 or $190 for. But if you don't get that, you're now paying $350 for a pair of shoes that, if you're like me and still play basketball, that you're going to destroy.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
it's like
you can't justify that.
I can't. So I'm like, I'm looking at, I literally bought like a pair. There's like some company that claims that like, well, we make a shoe just like the Kobe. I'm like going to weird, sketchy websites to try to buy a shoe that's kind of like it, because I'm like, that's what I want to play in, but I can't. And I can't imagine, like, again, kids, like when I was in high school is when sneaker shit was getting big. Everyone was posting their kicks on Instagram. It was like kicks of the day was a big thing and all this stuff. And it's like, that was like fun. And then even towards the end of that, you started seeing people that really didn't care about it just like buy all the shoes that people wanted to play basketball in so that they could sell it back to them.
Scalpers.
Yeah.
That scalper mindset. Yeah. Those people are the worst.
It makes me sad, dude.
And you're making like peanuts, like, and not most, like, some people are making big money off of that, but most people aren't. You're just gumming up the works and making it hard for people to get the thing they want.
Yeah.
And like for me, I never got into sneakers, anything. Like I love Chuck Taylor's Timberland boots, and that's about it.
Those are classic stuff. So
exactly.
They're staying at pretty much the same price.
They're almost always the same price. They almost are always able to find them.
Yeah.
Like you don't go out of style.
Yeah, that's true. Same
like,
with Vans too. I love Vans.
I haven't had me a pair in a while, but I used to like a nice pair of Vans.
You mentioned, so you didn't hoop at all, right? You weren't into basketball shoes, but you got the Dolphins jersey on today.
Yeah, I do have the Dolphins.
And we're in Milwaukee. And you tell me before we started today, and at the beginning of the episode, that born and raised.
Yeah, so I'm rocking the Dan Marino jersey, but I'm not a fan of the Miami Dolphins. So this was my dad's jersey. He passed away in 2002. God rest his soul. So I grew up most of my life without him. But this was like my inheritance from him, was this jersey. And my name is Daniel after Dan Marino.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
My middle name is Brett after Brett Favre.
Ooh.
He wanted that to be my first name, and my mom said, "There's no way my son's having that hillbilly name."
Wow. Shout out to your mom.
She said, "Daniel's in the Bible.
Yeah.
He can have that."
Yeah. Wow. Your mom had some good foresight, because Brett didn't turn out to be that great of a guy.
No.
I don't know much about Dan Marino's life, but
I think Dan Marino's pretty cool as far as I know.
As far as I know, he's not as bad. So.
No, yeah. I haven't heard no controversy, and he was in that Ace Ventura movie, which I thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah.
So
he was in wasn't he in Little Nicky also? Have you ever seen that? I think he tried to. Yeah, he's funny as hell in that movie. He like tries to make a deal with Satan to win a Super Bowl.
Brett Favre made a deal with Satan in real life.
He did do that.
He just stole money from welfare.
Poor people. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been shitting on, dude. I've shit on Brett Favre consistently the last like 5 weeks of this show.
You know what? He deserves it. And
Yeah.
you shit on him next week too.
Yeah. I'll do my best to bring it up.
You only won us 1 Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You should have did more.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if you're gonna like sex your massage therapist that much, and then it's crazy we forget. Like everyone just like moved on from that, and like we only don't like him now because he then he had to like actually steal from the poorest people in the country. Like it's like it took that far for us, and he still gets a standing ovation when he pulls up to Camp Randall with Morgan Wallen. So that's good stuff. But it is what it is. What have we not touched on today? Is there anything we didn't get to today that we need to, or?
A little bit of the comedy, I guess we could.
Yeah, what's up? I know you've got the show. Can we plug the show? You're linked down below. First off, for people that are listening.
Check out Instagram, Dan the Butcher.
IG, reach out.
Yeah, reach out to me if you ever want to book me, or you need to know when a show is happening, where to go, anything. Reach out. I'm always open for that, and I'm always looking to book new shows.
Yeah.
But I got a show upcoming this Friday at the American Legion Hall in Menominee Falls.
Yeah,
I got booked with some other local comics for that, as a guy who's touring the country, I believe, putting on these VFW shows. So that'll be fun.
Exciting.
Yeah.
And you've been doing comedy, you said, around 2 years?
Almost 2 years. Yeah.
Excellent, man. Congrats to that. That's an accomplishment in and of itself.
Yeah, I mean, once I started, I couldn't stop. It's a passion of mine now. I love it. It's being out there, introducing yourself to new people, getting to know new people. That's a huge aspect of it. It helped bring me out of my shell a lot.
Yeah. What when you're now that you're kind of getting into comedy and you've been doing it now for 2 years, how's the writing process evolved for you? Because I'm sure when you're getting started, it probably looks a little different than it does today.
Yeah, so you kind of start with an idea. Sometimes it's a bit premise, is you would say, is just like a premise. and you start to play with that. You might have a few tags, a few jokes. You might know where you want to end with it, like what your big laugh is going to be.
Yeah.
And then you just go on a stage and you try it out. You try it this way, you try it that way, you take this word out, you add that line.
Yeah.
Sometimes you think of something on stage that you didn't think of before, and everything just clicked now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I try to do a little bit of that of like, writing, take some time, pen to paper. But I try not to get too deep in just like word for word, because that's just almost too much to remember. You kind of want to remember your points of, this is the premise, this is the point where I want to start, this is where I want to end up.
Yeah. Where do you draw inspiration from?
A lot of it is like personal point of view, stories about my life, because I've had some funny interactions, I should say, or experiences.
Sure, yeah.
That were just too good not to tell people about.
Yeah, why not get on stage and let everybody know?
My first joke that I ever wrote and did on stage, I still keep in my act, because it's that good. Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's a good, and it's obviously it's evolved, and I worked on it over those 2 years, but like it's in the set. If I ever make a special one day, that bit will be in there.
That's awesome, man. And that's the thing I love about comedy is sometimes I think the best stuff, the best material, it's shit that you can't make up, dude. Like, it's probably, I imagine, something that actually happened to you, and then you're able to now, twist it a little bit to make it fit you on stage a little bit more. And I think those are just genuinely the funniest things. It's like it just happened. I couldn't have written that. You know what I mean? And
then you can find like the little embellishments, like how do I make it a little better here or there, Yeah.
And you start to learn to like cut the fat out of every story, You sort of like whittle away at this thing until you get like this fine sculpture that is whatever that joke is. I don't want you to tell it here, and
you got to come see a show to see that one.
Come see him Friday. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, man. So you've been have you mostly do shows around Milwaukee, or where you been at?
Around Milwaukee. I've gotten out to Madison. I'm actually doing a show next week, I believe Saturday in Round Lake, Illinois at Lucky Emma's.
Okay.
So it'll be my first booked show in Illinois. I've done some open mics, some competitions over there in Chicago, but in Illinois proper doing a show, this will be the first one.
That'll be fun, man. Round Lake, that's an interesting area, so that'll be good.
I've never been.
Okay, really? I'm from like 50 minutes south of here, so like right on the border. I was still in Wisconsin, but right on the border between Wisconsin and Illinois. Yeah, Round Lake's not too far. Maybe like an hour and some change. But yeah, okay, cool, man. Well, that's exciting. I'm looking forward to hearing plenty more on the comedy scene from you moving forward.
Come October, the Milwaukee Comedy Festival.
Yeah.
I'll be a part of that as well.
Excellent, man. Well, that'll be exciting. Do you do the roasts at all? Do you do the roasts?
I've done a few roasts, yeah. Unfortunately, I've not won any roasts.
Sure.
But I've gotten some good licks in. I've had so much fun doing them, because the guys that run the roast championship, Cody, Brandon, they're fucking amazing.
Yeah,
like
good dudes.
They're great guys. They put on fun shows every time. They always manage to get a new matchup that surprises me, but also manages to top the last one that they put together.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, they do a really, really good job. If you guys haven't, you need to check out the Milwaukee Roast Battles. Those are great.
Fantastic, yeah. And like once the competition comes back, it's gonna heat up big time.
Yeah, it always does, man. Well, dude, I thank you, Daniel, for stopping by and chopping it up, letting us nerd out a little bit, and teaching me about butchering, because that's exciting.
I love to teach. I love to talk nerdy stuff, so
I appreciate it.
Do it anytime.
People that are listening, whether you're listening over on Spotify days after or you're watching today on YouTube, his stuff is linked down below. I also want to say a quick thank you and a shout out to our patrons. This should be up on the screen right now. If you guys are interested in getting behind the scenes access to extra videos as well as extra podcasts and a series where I break down how I mix, master, record every single one of my songs, go to patreon.com/Darren Rita, and you can help support the channel for as little as $1. Also want to say a quick shout out to Alpine House 2 for sponsoring another episode of the show, and to Impulse Cameras for sponsoring this episode as well. With all that good stuff being said, this has been the 319th episode of the Detox Podcast. I will see you guys next week. Peace.